Welcome everybody. Chef Katie May here for Delicious Living Live. We have two amazing chefs in the kitchen with us today. These two mother-daughter duo, Elspeth and Kaylee. I first met Elspeth, the mother, at True North 2 years ago, and she was radiant then, and she's even more radiant now with her daughter. They've been cooking up a storm. So I am going to pass it over to them. We have Elspeth in the kitchen, and Kaylee's going to be showing us some slides as well with some great information. We're talking about living foods today. So I love raw food. The whole idea, the concept of how much energy and life force they give us. And that's the way I started my plant-based journey, was 100% raw vegan. But after a couple months, I learned about eating cooked potatoes and how you could actually reverse disease with cooked food. And so I left the raw food world. But as I've been on this journey and trying to figure out what works best for me, over time I realized that the more raw I add in, even if I'm still eating some cooked food, the more raw I add in, the better I feel. And so I'm so thrilled to have these two on who have really kind of just excelled in the living foods world and making such great flavor. I can't wait to share their expertise with you. So with that, let's go to Elspeth and Kaylee. Actually, here you have both these lovely ladies. Elspeth and Kaylee, do you want to introduce yourselves?
Sure. Thank you, Katie May, for having us today. I'm super excited to be here, and it's fun to join you and your community on screen. We're going to cook up a few little dishes here today, but let Kaylee introduce herself, and then we'll get going.
Thank you so much, Katie. It's amazing to be on. My mom's told me so much about you, and it's just an honor to be on your channel and to be in front of your audience. And you hit the nail on the head. Raw foods definitely brought me back to life, and I'm sure we'll get into our stories of how plant-based foods and raw foods have really transformed our health. But it is just like one of the biggest passions of my whole life, and I feel like this is definitely my mission on earth right now, to spread this to as many people as possible. So we're really passionate about what we've been doing with Vegan News Daily, and we'll share all about it during the show. So Mom, let's get cooking.
Great. So Katie May, I'm a little bit more in your court, where I do eat some cooked foods, but the more raw I add, the better I feel too. So I know exactly what you're talking about. But my main goal with everything I do is that it's got to be delicious, nutritious, fresh, and fast. So the first dish we're going to do here tonight is a Waldorf salad, and I'm going to do it in endive leaves. So Kaylee will tell you a little bit more about Waldorf salad in a little while, but the first ingredients that we're going to get going with tonight is fennel. This is something that's not typically found in a Waldorf salad, but it's beautiful, interesting looking, and it adds a nice crunch and a sort of a licoricey flavor to the typical ingredients that are in a Waldorf salad. So I'm going to set that aside for now, and then I also use the little fronds, the leaves, as garnish at in the end of the dish. So I'm going to set that aside now and add everything else. So I just have a bowl here that I'm going to add celery to. So this is just diced up celery. Again, it's going to be a lot of crunch. It's also very, full of water, so very hydrating, and it gives a nice little saltiness as well. So, and then I've gone ahead and diced up some of the fennel. So I'm going to add that too. And then I have some walnuts, because walnuts are always a big number. These are obviously raw nuts. I didn't soak them. Kaylee always likes to soak whatever nuts she uses. But I didn't soak these because I want that crunch. And then I add half grapes that are cut in half. You can use green grapes. You can use purple grapes, whatever you choose. And I always say try to get organic if you can, because grapes, they use a lot of pesticides when growing grapes. So if you can find organic and you can afford them, go for it. Right now is a great time to make the salad, because I just got a whole bunch of grapes from Whole Foods, and it was like $1.99 a pound right now, so for organic. and then apples. So I'm just going to cut up the apple. And I usually wait on cutting up the apple till closer to when I'm going to make the salad because apple tends to brown. So I'm just going to dice this up, rough chop it. Doesn't have to be beautiful, but I like to try and make the apple uniform sizes. And again, this is another ingredient that I would always choose organic. So I just simply follow the clean 15 and dirty dozen guidelines, and that's how I go with the apples. So this is a Gala apple. You could use any kind of apple you like. So I just need about a cup of apple, and I want to make sure that I'm cutting it small enough that it's going to fit in the little endive leaves and be a nice little mouthful. So that's all my fruits and vegetables and nuts, and now I need to make a dressing. So there'll be a little bit of blender noise.
Oh, Katie, sorry, Mom, to interrupt. Katie, I just got a call from my husband that I'm the one on video on YouTube.
They're seeing Elspeth now.
Okay, great.
There was a mistake on my end. Sorry about that.
Mom, do you want to just like recap the first few steps? We have so much time.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'll go back to, I don't know where you left me, but I was just adding to this bowl. I added all the ingredients for the Waldorf salad. So I had fennel that was already diced up, and I've got some red grapes and apple, which I just diced up now. I used a Gala apple, but you can use any type of apple you like, and I like to leave the skins on, and as I said, choose organic. I also have a whole bunch of red grapes, walnuts, celery, and the diced up fennel. So that's it for the vegetables and fruit part of this. And now I'm just going to get busy on the dressing. So I'm going to step off the screen for a moment and just pull over the dressing ingredients. So Kaylee, do you want to take it away for a moment?
Sure, I would love to. Sorry, guys, that I was on screen looking very fun. So I'd love to introduce you guys just to, Katie May, can you see my screen?
Yep, we got you.
Okay. So I just want to share with you guys who we are and what we do. So we are the Vegan News Daily, and we really try to encourage people to make choices when it comes to their food and their lifestyle that are good for them and also good for the planet. So my mom and I are vegan culinary instructors, and we love working together in the kitchen. We know each other's next moves. It's super fun. We went vegan as a family 9 years ago. So my dad, my brother, my mom. It was actually inspired by my brother, who was 15 at the time, and he stopped eating meat. And a year later, he still wasn't eating meat. And we tried to make him chicken for dinner, and he was not having it. So we were like, okay, we should start looking into this. So my mom was the first to go vegan, and then we all just kind of followed suit within about a month or two of each other. So it was very inspiring. My mom has also authored a wonderful holiday Thanksgiving recipe book called Part of My Turkey, and over the past 3 months we've actually written over 3 cookbooks together. So my husband and I have traveled the world teaching raw and vegan yoga and sound healing retreats all over the world: Costa Rica, Peru, Nicaragua, and it's a big passion of ours. So in the past 3 months we've led 3 different cooking series and taught people how to make a wide variety of cuisine, from Mexican to Asian, to brunch recipes to Mediterranean, and American food, of course. And so we've really ranged everything. And also we just finished a series in July where we actually featured party, potluck, and picnic food, and taught people how to meal prep. So that was very fun and rewarding. So here are some pictures of all the amazing dishes we made. This is all brunch food. This is Mediterranean. And we love getting pictures from our members who get recipes. They get a class every single week with us. That's an hour and a half long. And then every week we have bonus videos in our Facebook group. So we've been really, really lucky. It's been a wonderful community that's formed. But most importantly, we've also been able to raise money for food banks, and we've donated over $2,500 to 2 food banks that are really important to us. One's in Long Island called Community Solidarity, and they're 100% plant-based foods that they are donating. It's an incredible organization. They're doing a lot of good, especially during this time of COVID. And then also Center of Help in Annapolis that works primarily with immigrant communities, Latino immigrants, and they're also doing really wonderful work getting produce into the hands of people who really want it and appreciate it. So tonight we're teaching you how to make the Waldorf salad and endive boats and also a sinless summer fruit tart. Both of these recipes are fully raw. As my mom mentioned, she's not fully raw, but we both just love the benefits of raw foods. And we also have a very exciting announcement for you. So stay tuned for that. So I'm going to turn it back to my mom, and then I'm also going to share with you about I'm going to share with you the story of the Waldorf salad and how it got its name. So I should be stopped screen sharing now.
I'm back. Everyone can see me?
Yep, we can see you, Elspeth.
Okay, great. So now I'm going to make the dressing. So in the recipe book that we're sending out or sharing with all your viewers, we have 2 different recipes for dressing. So we have one with cashews and one with yogurt. So if you don't eat nuts, you can go for the yogurt-based one. I'm going to make the cashew one tonight. So I did go ahead and soak the cashew nuts, about half a cup of cashew nuts. And I'm just going to add all the ingredients to a blender and get blending. So I have some plant-based milk, and I'm just going to add it's about a quarter of a cup, but I'm just going to hold off on some of it just to see. I'll add the soaked nuts, and then the flavor enhancers here are a little bit of mustard, a little bit of garlic powder, and some salt-free seasoning. And I, like probably most of you, use Benson's Table Tasty as my salt-free seasoning of choice. So a little splash of that. And then I need a little bit of apple cider vinegar as well. So I'm going to pop that in the blender. And I'll just give a little splash of the apple cider vinegar. I'm not big on measuring things, but there are measurements in the recipe, I promise. Okay, so I'm going to just blend this up a little bit. Oh, and I need some lemon juice. So backtrack a moment. This is a tool that I use every single day, multiple times a day, just a handheld citrus juicer. So I'm going to just squeeze out a little lemon juice in here. And that should be good. Okay, I'll blend this up. And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the endives. And let's go. I won't talk while I blend. Going to check on this and see if that's good enough. Yeah, I'm going to add a little splash more milk. I just didn't want it to get too thin. So you can decide for yourself if you want to make it thinner or thicker. So this is just almond milk. I have a recipe on my website. My website is actually thespeedyvegan.com, and there's a video of how I make almond milk. Super simple, and I just made a batch today. So,
Elspeth, they're wondering what blender you're using.
I'll tell you. So this is a Vitamix. It's the new Ascent series, and it comes with these really nice little canisters to make smaller amounts of sauces. So I do have like the regular, you're all familiar with the regular size 64-ounce jug. That's typically on here, but when I'm making small amounts, I don't want to get all the sauce lost in the blender and have to scoop and stuff. So this is why I use these little ones. It has these smoothie size cups, and then it also has a smaller little 8-ounce one. If I'm really doing I could have done that in this actually as well. So yeah, so it's really nice. Okay, so I'm just going to add the dressing to this Waldorf salad. And I'm not a big saucy dressing kind of person. My daughter Kaylee makes the most fabulous sauces. Her palate is unbelievable. She makes the most fabulous sauces, and she puts sauce on everything and probably double the amount of sauce that I do. So you just have to decide how much sauce you want. You could double this recipe and then just save whatever you don't use. So I'm going to add this. Looking for my spatula. I have a wonderful spatula that I rely on. Must be with my other blender. Yeah, I added this latest Vitamix to my life this year for no particular reason. I do have a very old one, that I've had for, I don't know, maybe, I think I got it in 2013. And I just know that if anything ever happened to that blender, I would just be lost. I couldn't, I couldn't live without it. So I did break down and buy this new one. And now that I'm doing all of these cooking classes, I use both of them all the time. So I'm quite happy with them. And I love Vitamix. I've never tried a Blend Tech. I know they're very popular too.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to make sure I get all the dressing out of the lid here too. And then all that's left with this recipe is to plate it. And the way I like to serve it is in endive leaves. Endives are they're very sort of neutral flavor. They don't have a whole lot of flavor. They're very, very subtle, I guess, is the idea. And I'm going to just mix this all and coat everything very evenly. I don't want to put so much dressing that I can't see the ingredients. I want to know what's in here, and I want to be able to see the colors of the grapes and the colors of the apples. So that looks good enough for now. So that's it. So endives. So for those of you who are not familiar with endives, they come in lovely green colors and purple. They're very pretty, very subtle. And if you cut off the base of the endive, it's very easy to peel off these beautiful little leaves, and they make the perfect little scoops or dippers for all sorts of, dressings. I mean, all sorts of dips and things and salads. So I'm going to use a mixture of purple and green, and I just figured this out last week. I was making this for a class. I figured out that I could use my what I used to use for deviled eggs, the little egg dish, but that makes a perfect little plate to put the endive leaves in so they don't rock around. I put one little leaf in each of the places where the eggs used to be. So that's one way. And then just because I love the contrast of the black platter, I'm going to use a black platter as well. And I'm going to invite Kaylee on the set here to help me spoon some of this lovely Waldorf salad. Actually, can we just move that off the set so we can see you a little bit? We're going to spoon some of this lovely Waldorf salad into the endive leaves. So I'm just going to arrange a few here. And I could also just serve a whole lot in a bowl and then just put a bunch of leaves around the edge. But we're going to just chit-chat here. Any questions you have? And we'll fill these up so we can show you what next.
Elspeth, can you tell us a little bit more about the fennel for anyone that missed it earlier? What you did with it? They're wondering the green versus the white and whether you roasted it or left it raw.
Oh, no, this is raw. So we're doing as much as possible. We're doing raw today. So I think everything we're doing is raw, right? Yeah. So completely raw. It's got a lot of crunch to it. It's got a lovely licorice flavor. And it's, I just used the white part for the salad, but I'm going to use some of these fronds for garnish, which I will show you in just a moment. It smells wonderful. And yeah, that's it for the fennel. You can roast it. There are some wonderful dishes that I do make in the fall, but in the summertime, and especially August or Rawgust, as we call it.
My mom's doing a mostly Rawgust this August. So she'll ask me like every day, she's like, is this like raw enough? And I'm like, oh, it's up to you. It's up to you. You know, she loves to have like steamed greens or baked veggies in the evening. So I'm just gently encouraging her. No pressure. Everybody can choose what they want to have.
I love that. It's so powerful to force yourself, gently force yourself by creating like bright lines. We like to think of it that way, of having only raw for a certain period of time so that you learn how to do those foods that way. That's what I did when I first went vegetarian. I didn't care about being vegetarian long term. I just wanted to learn how to cook legumes, so I had to cut out the meat just to learn that. So I think that's great. You have Rawgust.
Yeah, Rawgust. I feel great. I just had a birthday. I'm an August birthday. So I figure what better way to celebrate turning 54 than to treat myself with really, really good food and healthy. I mean, not that I don't eat healthy anytime, but with cooked food, I tend to eat a lot. It's very easy for me to eat. I mean, you've seen Chef AJ's potatoes. I think I could eat her under the table on potatoes. I really do.
We could have a mukbang video where you guys sit down side by side. And she has a big. My mom's salad bowl, I will say, is like the biggest salad bowl that you will ever see. It's like big enough for I think 6 people, maybe even 10. Yeah.
Perfect for me.
Perfect for her.
So,
but yeah, it's so true.
What would you recommend, both of you, for people that aren't doing big salads? How do you fall in love with salads to that extent?
I have a good tip. So for me, it's always about the dressing. So I first fell in love with salad when I never had a salad till I was 18 years old. And
True.
Like she would try. I ate potatoes. I ate a lot of starches. I was very much a starchivore. I never really was into meat, although growing up it was always like served, but I didn't really like it. But what really turned me onto salads before I was vegan was dressing. So I was like, oh my God. I had Caesar salad and I think I just downed the dressing and I was like, oh, so you can eat greens when you learn how to appreciate it with a good dressing. So that was first key for me. So flavor combining in a dressing is really important. We actually taught a class last month that was a free class about salads and dressings and all about how to flavor combine and balance acid and sweet and umami flavors and kind of create that really nice combination because a lot of people they'll use too much sweet and won't counterbalance with a little savory and then adding spices and herbs and helping people with that. So that's really important. And then also we add tons of fruit to salads as well. My dad and mom put like pounds of grapes, nectarines, berries into salads to really like use that as a dressing if you don't want to make your own.
Yeah, my husband, I'll pack him his lunchbox and I'll put a bunch of fruit in his salad. And then I send him with another container just full of fruit. And when he gets to lunchtime, he just dumps that whole lot of fruit onto his salad. So, yeah, and really good vinegar. I recommend you get, if you like balsamic vinegar, invest in the really good stuff. I mean, the Napa Valley Naturals, California Balsamic, they make absolutely wonderful dressing. So definitely, I'm going to do that. Yeah, we'll worry about that.
Yeah, no, but it's so true. I've never tried California Balsamic actually till this month. Chef AJ sent us both samples, and I was like, what's the big deal? Like, it's just another balsamic, but they're really, really good. Like, so good.
Game changer for sure.
Game changer,
They are.
Yeah,
and I have a code for anyone that's interested in buying the California balsamics. You can get, when you check out, in the description at the bottom, there's like a little comment section for coupons or anything. You can just type in Katie May, and they will send you 2 extra sample sizes of 2 balsamics of your choice. So you put in Katie May and any 2 balsamics of your choice, then they'll send you samples. So definitely check them out. That's a great way to add more flavor to your salads.
And I have a recommendation. Try the curry. It's just my favorite, I think, right now. Yeah. So now what we're doing with the little endive boats.
So good.
Smells good, right? Okay. Is that we're just taking little sprigs and we're putting them on top of our little boats here.
Oh,
we have a friend here. We have a German Shepherd.
Rescue dog.
He joined our family in February, and he's absolutely wonderful and very curious about our cooking. So.
Every time we have a cooking class, his nose is he's very tall, so his nose is always right at the table.
Yeah.
It's so sweet.
So there is not a bear walking around our kitchen, we promise.
One of our classes, someone thought a big bear was in the kitchen. That was really Instead of salads, I would make a lot of green smoothies when I first went raw and started to eat more healthier and unprocessed. So packing on baby spinach or just really soft, easy, digestible greens into smoothies is a great way to get your greens in because you can really mask the greens with the sweet flavor of the fruits, such as bananas or mangoes or things like that.
So we've filled our boats here, our little endive boats. So I'm going to just show you maybe where you can hold up that one. So this is a platter. We've got green and purple endive leaves, and each one's filled up with a little scoop of Waldorf salad and then topped off with some fronds of the fennel.
They're beautiful.
And
they're so cute.
And they're so crunchy and delicious.
And I have a thing for mini sized foods, and these are just like so perfect and finger sized.
She's kind of mini, so she loves little
Like mini spoons, any sort of tiny
Yes.
kitchen device. My heart.
Oh, I
just
can relate.
explodes.
And then another way to do it would just be to, put it in a bowl and have
Mhm.
these beautiful scoops on the side.
Right, dippers. Oh, we've frozen up a bit. Hey everyone.
We got these.
Okay, there we go.
We got these at the farmer's market from a woman who's really great at growing microgreens. So these are red cabbage, and they're just beautiful. So microgreens are different from sprouts in that they've actually begun to green and form these little leaves, and sprouts are just beginning to form green. They're really just sprouting out of the seed. So a really nice thing to do is to garnish this dish with some microgreens or sprouts of your choice if you don't want to use fennel or in addition to fennel. So it's got that beautiful purple color.
Yeah, typically you want to use an ingredient that's in the recipe as a garnish, but we make we make way for sprouts and microgreens because it's just so nutritious. So
yeah, the most like nutrient dense foods, I think, the microgreens.
So I think those microgreens look perfect on there.
They look
Yeah.
amazing.
Can you give us a little a close up of the salads? Someone, I don't know if they're a little bit hard to see. Oh yeah, that works. Oh, look at, that's really nice to see.
You guys see
Beautiful.
that?
They look so delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's wonderful. All right, I'm going to send Kaylee back.
I'm going to go back up. See you on the other screen.
She'll tell you more about Waldorf salads once she gets there. But yeah, it's so much fun collaborating with my daughter. We've done, I think this is our 20th class this summer together.
Wow.
Sometimes she's here in our house. She lives in Boston, but sometimes she's here in my kitchen, and sometimes she's at home in Boston. So she zooms in from there, and I'm cooking here.
You're an inspiration. My mom's been saying it for months now since I moved back home a couple months ago, and she's been wanting to do similar things. But we'll probably start with local potlucks, just having people over.
Lovely.
So,
yeah, I think I saw your mom on one of your shows. You were making some beautiful
did.
German chocolate cake.
Yes, the German chocolate cake was amazing. That was actually Chloe Stein. Do you know Chloe Stein? And I think she's in LA. But all right, is Kaylee ready for us?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Oh, there we go. All three of us. We're going to switch to your screen share, right?
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. I can turn that on. Let me know if you're seeing that now.
There we go.
Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So this is just a quick little fact about the Waldorf salad. So it's named for the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York City, where it was first created by the maitre d', which is the dining room manager at the time, named Oscar Trisky. So there was a charity ball that was going in honor of the St. Mary's Hospital for Children in March in 1896. So the salad then, he was kind of out of ingredients. So the original recipe was just apples, celery, and mayonnaise, and didn't contain any nuts. But then in the cookbook, it started to contain a few more ingredients. And so as we show here today, we don't need to have any sort of mayonnaise or anything like that. Mayonnaise, for those of you that don't know, contains tons of oil, processed ingredients, in addition to egg whites. So it's not something that we consider a health food for numerous reasons, and also for reasons for compassion for animals. So it's so easy to sub out. If you don't want to make your own dressing for this, you can also, of course, use a vegan mayo if you're just transitioning to a healthier lifestyle. But if you are wanting to be oil-free, which is what we recommend, then definitely follow the recipe as it is in the ebook that you will receive. So I do have a quick announcement before we go on to our next recipe, which we're very excited for. So I want to announce that in the fall and September, we are hosting another cooking series. So all of our series are 3 parts, and this one is called Fall in Love with Flavor. So it's hosted September 22nd, 29th, and August 6th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. EST. And so we host our classes online, they're live, and then the full-length recordings are sent out. So our classes all feature different themes. The first one is fantastic French food. So it's going to be whole food, plant-based, SOS free, delicious recipes that are tasty but also easy because that's our style. So inspiring Indian is our second class, and then tasty Thai. And so we're really excited for this theme. These are 3 different countries that we've featured in our previous classes, and we can't wait to show all of our members how delicious it can be and how fun it is to sort of travel to different regions of the world when we're unable to travel at this time. So here's some of the French food we're going to make, Indian menu, and of course Thai food. So everyone will get 25 delicious vegan recipes in their own recipe book, detailed shopping lists, live 1-hour Zoom cooking classes, 3 of them. And then, of course, you're going to receive tons of support from us in our Facebook group, cooking tips, recordings of classes, and just meet a lot of really fun new friends. So you're going to also learn how to plate your meals really beautifully and create that aesthetic, and also have like an elegant dinner time atmosphere, whether you're romancing someone else or just yourself. This is the most important relationship of all. And you're going to learn how to create curries and chutneys, vegan cheese, and crepes as well. So we can't wait to host you. If you are interested, it's only $79. As always, 10% of proceeds are donated to food banks. And if you'd like to join us, please go to vegannewsdaily.com/love. So super easy, and we'd love to see you. So if you have any questions, you can always email us and ask us anything. It's just vegannewsdaily@gmail.com. And now we are going to be making our next recipe, which I know you're all excited for, which is, of course, dessert.
You back on me, or where are we?
We're back on you, Elspeth.
Back on me. I'm cluttering around the kitchen here. Okay, so we're going to get a little fruity here. I'm missing, oh no, I'm not. I've got just another tray of fruit that I'm going to.
Oh, you froze up. I just want to say thanks for all that awesome work you guys are doing. Kaylee, great for getting all of that out there. All those classes look fantastic. So I hope people sign up and join you for those.
Thank you so much. It's been a total blast. My mom is like the queen of vegan food, and it's so fun to work together, honestly. It feels like we've been training for this our whole life, but we didn't know we were training for it. Do you know what I mean? It feels like when you start to put the puzzle pieces of your life together and you're like, oh, I see the picture a little more clearly.
It's like you're made for this.
Why. Yeah, I mean, we can talk too about health stuff and reclaiming health a little bit if we have time tonight, because my mom and I have definitely been through the ringer and made comebacks in our own unique ways. And I think that's important and inspiring for people to hear about just how much this food is able to transform you in every level. So,
yes, yeah. I'd love to hear some of your story. But let's jump to this tart.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm the noise lady. So for the tart crust, this is a Sinless summer fruit tart, and I have some variations on this, which I'll tell you about too.
How much this?
Everything good?
Oh yes, I just had you on the screen twice.
Oh, I have a twin. I always wanted a twin. Okay, so I'm using medjool dates here. So these are the big, plump and luscious medjools, which I've pitted, and I have a tip that I always use when I'm doing medjools. So I always make sure that I have a little pit jar, and I always count how many pits I have and how.
You're frozen again.
Going.
There we go.
Dates.
Can you just repeat what you just said? I think it froze up on us.
Oh, okay. I don't want to be frozen. So I was just saying with the medjool dates, you want to make sure that you get every last pit out of them. Mm-hmm. So I have a strategy for doing that. I have a little container where I put all my pits. So I count the dates and I count the pits once I've finished pitting them, just to make sure, because once you've ruined a couple of beautiful dishes with one little date pit, you want to make sure from then on that you don't do it again. So I've done it a few times and never again. And I'm going to use pecans for this crust, for this nutty crust. And this is all going into my food processor. This is a Breville, if anyone's interested. It's a beautiful machine that I never knew I needed, but I use it all the time. and some cinnamon. It's optional if you're not a cinnamon person, don't worry about it. And I'm just going to pulse this a few times and get this crust going. And then the big decision is what shape tart we're going to do. So let me just pulse this a few minutes. I'll be making some noise.
I just want to remind everyone, if you haven't gotten the book yet, their little ebook of the recipes, it is beautiful, as John just mentioned. So you can just email the address I'm putting in to the comments right now for to get that ebook if you haven't gotten it yet. Right. Go ahead, Elspeth.
Okay, good. I didn't hear whatever you were saying, so hopefully you weren't talking to me.
I was just letting them know about the recipes.
Okay. Oh, great. Okay. So we have a number of different tart pans that I could use. I have some little individual ones, or really, I think these are 2-people tarts. Or I have a rectangular one, but I'm going to go with this round one today because Kaylee likes round tarts. And in fact, Kaylee, do you want to come down and make a tart with me? I think I'll have enough for a mini one.
I'll be there.
Oh, but well, wait. So maybe I'll make the rest of the blender noise as well first. The other part of this tart. So this is the crust. Just those 3 ingredients: raw pecans, dates, and cinnamon. And the other part of this is the filling. So for the filling, I'm going to use the Vitamix, and it's going to get noisy. So to the Vitamix, I'm just going to add some frozen bananas. So definitely use, I should have brought an example of them, but we always use the bananas that are, everybody else thinks it's time to throw them out. So you want the ones that have the black speckles on, and not the beautiful yellow ones or those green ones you see in the airport. We want to use ones that have lots of black speckles and are really nice and soft and sweet. So I'm going to show you an example of that in a moment. But I'm just going to add some frozen bananas that I froze up yesterday, and I store them in a Ziploc bag in the freezer. And I'm just going to approximate how many are going in there. And I'm going to blend them up into what's known by a lot of plant-based eaters as an ice cream or ice cream, and get these all soft. You could add another date to this if you wanted them sweeter, but I know that these bananas are very, very ripe and sweet. So I'm going to just blend away, and then Kaylee, you want to come down and make a tart with me?
I am on the way, ma'am.
Oh. Froze up again just a bit, but that's okay. She's just blending away. If you guys want to learn, if you want to be notified of all of my upcoming shows, Delicious Living, we're here every Thursday at 5 p.m. Then opt in to get my Delicious Dressings ebook. I'm going to put this in the comments as well, and that will put you on my email list so you find out about our upcoming shows. Next week we have we have a doctor on, actually going to be teaching us a couple delicious meals. So definitely, and then you'll get my free dressings ebook as well. There's a dozen amazing plant-based oil-free dressings. Okay.
Okay. Are we back here?
Back to you.
Okay. Back to us. So I'm going to do this round tart. Kaylee, do you want to do a little mini tart?
I'll do a mini tart.
Mini tart. She likes mini. Okay, sounds good. So we're going to just press the crust into the tart pan. The tart pan.
I tease her because of her accent. My mom's from Zimbabwe, and so we were filming a video the other day, and we were filming like a watermelon cupcake video, and she said, apparently you can't have a party without a cupcake. And I was like, you sound like you're in My Fair Lady or something. So I do tease her, but I also love the accent. I forget she has one most of the time.
I could definitely tease the Americans about their accents.
Yeah, you can. My uncle used to tease me all the time. He was like, you just speak so ugly.
Okay.
Because we have a lot of relatives who are South African, and they definitely sound more beautiful than I do.
All right. So with clean hands, just press. So as you can see, it didn't form into a big clump of dough. We don't want it to be too soft. So we're just going to press.
It's almost like crumbly.
Yeah, so it's crumbly. So I'm just going to press the tart. And as I press it, it'll come together nice and firmly. And I just press. Do you have enough?
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to press it into the base of the tart pan and then up the edge. Oh, and I should have showed you that these tart pans, they have removable bottoms. So that's what you want. That's why you use a tart pan instead of a pie dish. But if you have a pie dish, you can find a way to dig it out of that too. So
yeah, I've definitely made this in pie dish, and it's just kind of messy when.
Oh. Back. Just give it a second. There we go.
better to taste good than to look good.
Yeah, this definitely is such a winner recipe.
Okay. All right. So I have my tart crust all pressed in. I'm going to show yours.
Yeah.
So you just want it to come up the sides a little bit.
You're speedy. Like I have a tiny one, and she's already finished her.
Okay. It's not a race, not a competition. And then for the filling, for tonight, we're going to use just the banana and ice cream. And then we're going to top it with fruit. And then we can put it in the freezer until we're ready to serve it. We have some other variations on it where I make a really delicious cashew cream, a sweet cashew cream. So it's like a cheesecake almost. And, we can definitely get you that recipe too if anyone's interested in that. But we're going to use this one.
Elspeth, do you have any recommendations, and Kaylee, for doing a crust without the nuts?
Absolutely, yeah. So I personally don't like to eat nuts often or at all. And if I was doing this without nuts, I would just use dried mulberries and the dates as well. I wouldn't use any nuts in it. And mulberries do a really great job of binding the dates together. So definitely just get some mulberries.
And my recommendation is, because that would be maybe too sweet for me, is to just make what I call I'll bring it over there. But this is a no crust tart. So this is just the sweet. So whoops, I've got it dripping out there because it's defrosted a little bit because I wanted to make sure that I could pull the edge out. But so it's sitting out for a little while. But if you just serve that just with the in the tart pan right out of the freezer, you could just cut off slices of it. And that's it. It just looks really pretty with the fruit. It makes everybody feel like they're having a nice slice of tart, but they're not getting any of the nuts
that's great. A couple other suggestions from the community: oats and almond flour. The almond flour would still be a nut, but the oats would definitely be another option.
Yeah, and if you're just looking to be nut-free but not fat-free, you could use desiccated coconut as well with the dates. That would be delicious. But of course, you'd have to enjoy coconut flavor as well. So
I'm just gonna. So that one was just the banana, and I used pitaya. And then this was one that I made last week, actually, or 2 weeks ago. So that one is that has the cashew cream inside of it, and so does this one. This one's the same thing. So I made these in a class 2 weeks ago, and then what I did is I just wrapped them up in
You'll be back. You still there? There you go.
You see us?
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you hear it? Did you hear all that?
I was hearing that you wrapped it up in. I didn't hear what you
Saran
wrapped
wrap.
it in. Plastic?
I wrapped it up in plastic wrap, in saran wrap.
Okay.
And I stuck it in the freezer. So these you can, I mean, they've just been sitting in the freezer. I just took them out tonight just to show you.
That's fantastic. That's a great option for people to do this ahead of time.
Yeah, this is definitely something to have in the freezer ahead of time and pull out. My son-in-law will be down next week, and I'll be able to.
Yeah, my husband is definitely going to be eating lots of these. He's watching now, Katie, so I'm like, this is for you.
Okay.
If you want a spoon for that.
So someone's just clarifying, wants to clarify that you're adding the cream, then the fruit on top, and so you're freezing it with the cream in there.
So this version is just the banana ice cream. With the cashew one, the same thing. We put the cream, the cashew cream or this nice cream in, and then we decorate. We'll show you how we decorate.
Yeah. And you can decorate right once you put the topping the filling in. You can decorate it with the fruit then, or you can freeze it like for a half an hour first if you want to harden the crust just a little bit, but it's not necessary.
Yeah, if we were not doing this live with you, I'd probably just spread this in the tart, then just freeze it for, like Kaylee says, 30 minutes, and then we'd come back and decorate it. But we're going to go ahead and decorate. I should do this in front of me. There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. Okay. So you just want to spread this out. And I have a whole lot of choices for, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move some of this stuff out.
Okay.
So you can you?
Yeah, I can spread.
Okay.
I'm on spread duty. And this is such a fun activity to do. We actually taught a teens cooking series this summer called Cooking Club Teens. So that was a 6-part series. And this is a really fun activity to do with kids or teenagers or anyone for that matter, husbands, wives, any kind of sibling. Just get them in the kitchen and have them help you put the filling in and decorate the tart. It's a really, really nice activity to do together. And I mean, kids are so drawn to colorful fruits. They just have like so much fun with this activity. Just make sure they don't eat all of the toppings before you make it look pretty.
Okay.
Even so, it'd be great if they were eating those toppings rather than, traditional cupcakes.
Absolutely. I know it's the real taste of the rainbow is, of course, the fruit.
Can I just put that next to you? Okay. All right. Well, maybe we should do that. You go that side and I go this side. Put the fruit. No. You're there.
Okay.
You go there. We'll put the fruit in the middle.
Shuffle.
All right. Got all this fruit. So, the other thing I was going to say about tarts, like you'll see there's a whole bunch of grapes next to this tart here. So I always serve these tarts with a bunch of fresh fruit, whether it be grapes or cherries or with it. They can simply pick at the fresh fruit rather than have the tart. So just want to think about everybody's requirements. Okay, so we could do anything we wanted here. I'm going to, you want to just decide whatever you want?
Well, I'm just going to tell them what we have here. So we have cherries, we have some beautiful mangoes, blueberries, raspberries, kiwi slices. We have golden berries, or my mom calls them gooseberries. And then we also have strawberries and some little figs. And so I think what's lovely is when we do like a outer layer of mango around, and then when we do some like maybe kiwi down the center, and then the berries on the sides.
Okay. So I'm going to show you what I do with mango. So mangoes, they're wonderful at this time of year too. So you want to cut along the side of the pit. So I just take a knife. I always use, I like an 8-inch chef's knife. Always pinch up on the blade so you have good control over it. I just cut down the side, and then I could scoop that out. Actually, yeah, do the scoop. So you can scoop it out just like a mango. I mean, like a mango. You can scoop it out like you would an avocado. So I'm just going to plop this down on the tray here, on the board. Put that in my compost, and then I just cut very thin slices. I usually sort of go at an angle on the mango and cut very thin slices here and move my bare claw grip away as we go. And then I'm going to take that. Katie, can you see this area of the screen? I don't know what you
Just
see.
about a third of that pie.
Okay. Then I'm going to move that forward. Yeah, let's move the fruit in front. You bring the pie back.
Got it.
Okay.
The pie shuffle, as it's called.
The tart. Okay. So, so around the edge of this tart, I just am going to place a piece of mango, and then I overlap the previous piece of the mango with the next piece. So I'm just going to do a nice little circle around the edge here and get a nice bright yellow ring. Can you see that, Katie?
Yes, it looking good. Do you have any recommendations as far as the fresh versus frozen fruit?
Yeah, so I would definitely use fresh berries. Even though these are now frozen, they still look good, you know, because they were fresh when I made that originally. I would definitely use fresh berries. What could you use frozen?
I could use frozen blueberries or frozen blackberries. I think would be fine.
I just told them fresh berries. Now you're saying frozen.
No. But I think strawberries definitely get fresh, and blueberries you can definitely do some frozen because they're tiny and they're fine.
Okay, whatever Kaylee says.
It's much more delicious with fresh fruit, though. Absolutely.
Okay, so I've got a nice little golden ring here around the edge. And Kaylee, tell them what you're doing. That looks pretty.
Yeah, I'm just doing like a little outer layer of alternating gooseberries, aka golden berries, and raspberries. And then I think for the center, I almost want to do like half of a fig. What do you think?
Sure.
Yeah, I might slice up a fig.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just following my heart at the moment. We'll see what I come up with.
Kaylee always follows her heart. So I'm going to use, I think I'm going to do nectarine since you're doing all the golden berries. I'll do a little bit of nectarine. You can use peaches. This time of year we have beautiful stone fruit. So whatever fruit you like, and this is just your opportunity to get creative, get artistic, and whatever it turns out to look like, that's how it was supposed to be. This nectarine is not as ripe as I want it to be, so it might not come away from the pit as perfectly. So we might have to come up with plan B, but actually
that's the fun part of cooking. The thing for both of us is like you just make an alternate plan.
Yeah.
And you like for us, we never really cook with recipes or uncook raw food with recipes. We always just kind of make it up on the fly. Then we were surprised that people really love recipes, and so we've trained ourselves to appreciate them and to write them and work together on them. But obviously, it's nice to kind of do both. So if you don't have a certain ingredient for a recipe, like if you don't have endives, of course, just use romaine or butter lettuce or something else. Like, just have confidence and choose something in the fridge and enjoy the process. You know, it's never going to be perfect. You're going to learn something new every time you're making a dish in the kitchen. And oftentimes we learn most from our mistakes, I would say.
I think it's always perfect because however it ends up, that's how it was meant to be. Nobody needs to know any different.
I just made a little fig heart. Look at this.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Should we put that? We could put that in the center of yours, maybe.
Okay, wait. Let's just wait. Don't mess with my tart.
I won't touch your tart.
Okay.
Don't mess with our food.
Yeah. But it is fun to do something like this because everyone does have a bit of a unique style when it comes to their food or what fruits they exactly like and don't like. And so I think it's very empowering for all of us, whether we're kids or...
Yes. It reminds me of last week we had Timmery Hagenberger on, and she talked about the dessert nacho bar we did. Or she has an amazing cookbook, but the whole concept was having a bar, and that's kind of what you guys have done here with the fruit tart. You have a bar of all these amazing fruit to pick from, so you each can make the tart that you want, right?
Right.
It's so great.
Yeah, you could. Right, you could do individual.
We should call it the follow your heart tart, right?
I think I'm going to put a cherry in the middle,
That's
just
nice.
because. But I really need some blueberries. Wait, I need some blueberries. Okay. She's very proud. She's very excited.
No, it's just melting, and honestly, I've got to show it to you before it melts. Can you see that, Katie?
So beautiful.
So cute. It is melting down the sides, y'all, but I'll put it in the freezer, and it will be so delicious.
Okay, and then mine is coming behind. I don't know what else do I need here. It's missing something
I would just say it just needs some raspberries.
around the edge.
Yeah, or even some. Just a strawberry.
I know, I'm going to do strawberries.
Yeah.
So strawberries are really pretty and fun to do with tarts because when you cut them open, they have this beautiful, little shape on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm going to take off the little green parts and slice them thinner than that. So I'm going to just put little strawberries. Okay, so these have to go in the freezer until you're ready to serve them. But I would take them out about 10 minutes before you serve them, just so that they can, so you are able to cut into it easily. But these are really fun, and just use whatever I have some, different shaped pans, but the individual ones would be fun at a party for people to do their own designs. All right. Thank you, honey.
Okay, I have a few more.
Bye,
Okay.
Kaylee.
We'll see her.
The banana filling, if anyone's made ice cream before with bananas, they know that it can get, once it starts to get warm, it can get really soft. It's so beautiful. So could you just speak to the consistency of the banana ice cream as you're making it? It's getting a little bit softer, and but it's still
getting softer.
Put it in.
Yeah, it's getting softer for sure. I just want to show now, Kaylee. Look, can you see mine, Kaylee?
Oh, gorgeous!
Like that. Okay, so this will go in the freezer, and then when we're ready to eat it, we'll pull it out. And then again, I'm going to show you on the. This is the one with the cashew. I'm going to just show you what we would do when we serve it. So that's what the crust looks like. You see that? So good. Yes. So good. So very rich. That's why I say this is really one for two people. I think this is a little bit rich for one person, unless you were having just the ice cream made into a tart. So, yeah.
Wow. I don't know who would be able to stop eating that at the halfway point.
Beautiful. All right. So, and then of course, I would always add a whole bunch of fresh fruit, whatever it is. I could add some strawberries around the edge and just make it really fun and festive. And you could add some extra mint sprigs, and that's it. So lots of fruit.
Yeah. So beautiful. Katie, I have one more thing to show, if that's possible.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. Let's do this.
Let me know when it's good to go.
You're good to go. Just
okay. Awesome. My screen. Is that working? Yeah. So we also have 2 more free recipes for you guys. So if you want to email us at vegannewsdaily@gmail.com, you can get our gluten-free vegan flatbread with pesto and balsamic recipe, and also a chocolate cherry truffle recipe. So these are both delicious. Our members are obsessed with this flatbread. I cannot tell you how many people have sent me emails, Instagram messages, Facebook messages, or posted pictures of this. So it is such a winner. So these are the recipes. And if you'd like to get them, you can just email us, vegannewsdaily@gmail.com, and I'll send them right to you. And again, if you didn't get the recipes from today, just email us and we'll be happy to send those over. And again, we would love to host you in September for our love series. I think I've said love. I've reached my quota for saying the word love today, but it's going to again feature French, Indian, Thai food, all whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free, and lots of fun as always. And when you sign up for our September series, you'll also get 18 plus salad and oil-free dressing recipes in our sensational salad and oil-free dressing ebook. So that's a little bonus for you guys. Here are some of the beautiful recipes that you'll also receive. And if you'd like to follow us and stay in touch or be friends, you can follow us on Instagram at The Speedy Vegan, is my mom, Beth. She is truly the speediest vegan. And I'm at Enjoy a Chance. And of course, collectively, we are Vegan News Daily. So we would love to have you guys stay in touch. And it has been such an honor to be on with you, Katie May. You are such an inspiration, and it's just, it's a big honor. So we are humbled to be here, and it's been really fun to connect with you.
Yeah.
And
likewise,
I'll come down
to so much fun to be with you too and see you in the kitchen. So
you see me?
What do you have there? The endive salad again. Show us for anyone that was joining us late. Are you there? We'll experiment.
That's that one.
There we go. So these are the Waldorf salads.
Waldorf salad with the green and the purple endives. And then we've got it in a bowl served.
I was not going for spooky when I made this recipe. I was going for beautiful.
It's elegant.
So, like, elegant, yeah.
Also Halloween. Okay. There we go.
Yeah,
Platter.
And then one of the fruit tarts. So
beautiful.
that's it.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
sure everyone is inspired to make both of these very soon.
Yeah, we'll post photographs on Instagram of everything together and get the tarts back out of the freezer so you can get a good visual of it all.
Yes, definitely find them on Instagram because all of your food just looks so amazing. You guys do a great job presenting it and everything. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next week, same time, for another chef, actually another cooking instructor and Dr. Christina Miller. So look forward to that. But you ladies have a wonderful evening. Enjoy your fruit tart and salad, and we will see you. We'll have you back on another time. I'd love to do that.
Thank you, Katie May.
Thank you
really
so
enjoyed
much.
it.
Bye. Have a delicious night, everyone.
Good night.